Alright, guys, let me know if the music's too loud. It's kind of loud on my end. Hold on. Alright. Alright, guys, let me know if the music's too loud. It's kind of loud on my end. Alright, hey, what's up, Pawn? JP, DJ, Pedro, Kim, Jay, Joe. What's up, guys? Let me do a poll here. I just got up. Again, I didn't quite get enough sleep. Let me find this. All right, so today's the day after Christmas. We'll see if we get a Santa rally today. My portfolio was slightly red looking at most things. Bitcoin is down slightly on the day. It pushed up all the way to about 100,000 late yesterday. It pushed up to about 100K, and then it dipped all the way down this morning. Tesla is slightly green on the day after getting a lot of volatility. This looks catalyst driven, but Tesla had a crazy run on the 24th. Got all the way up to 465s. Now it's back at almost 470. Got as high as 475s roughly. Now it's back at almost 470. The SPY is down to 599s. It had a crazy day too, honestly, on Tuesday. This thing ripped up as well. Bitcoin, again, down a little bit. We could take a look at NVIDIA here. NVIDIA back up to almost 140. It ran a little bit on... No, it didn't actually run much. So... Good morning, guys. What's up, Beach? What's up, Joseph? Yeah, like my schedule, usually I get up at like, I usually wake up at, I usually wake up at like, I usually wake up once anywhere between like 4 and 6 a.m. Right? Like today I got up at like 6, right? I got up like 15 minutes ago, so I just woke up, but usually I wake up once in the middle of the night. It's not bad though, you know. What's up, Ray? Yeah, it's weird. The stream is not... Okay, there we go. Yeah, for a second it said we only had 40 people. Like, we had some people waiting to watch the stream. It said we only had 40-something people here. I was like, man, I had to refresh it. Now we got 130-something, so that's not bad. What's up, Chad? We got jobless claims unemployment filings coming out today. First economic day this week, really. Let's put the timer up. We got an hour and 5 minutes, roughly. Just about. Well, we'll actually put it to be pretty accurate. Yeah, we got like an hour and 5 minutes or so. Okay, so this one's pretty accurate. So like this timer that I just did is pretty accurate. So we'll throw this thing up like right next to me right here. That's pretty accurate timer. Almost exactly right. Hey, what's up, Bobby? Yowzer. Hey, definitely top 3. 6 more minutes to the announcement. No. So it comes out. The data comes out in an hour. It comes out at 8:30. It's 7:30 right now. Market time. 6:25 market. 7:25 market time. What's up, C? What's up, Bobby? What's up, Hi? Stoned, Swab, Blaze, Corey, Ray, Beach Bum, Joseph, Pedro, DJ, JP. What's up, guys? All right, so y'all bullish or bearish today? I don't know what to do on the poll. Let's just do jobless claims unemployment filings. Do you think today's jobless claims data shows higher or lower than expected? Remember, so higher is worse, right? So higher means more people filing for unemployment, at least worse if we want economic strength, right? higher is worse, lower is better. More is more people filing for unemployment. Less is less people filing for unemployment, i.e. better unemployment data. So let me know what you think. Vote on the poll. Ooh. All right. Yeah, so my kids got some good stuff for the holidays, man. Honestly, this Christmas, my kids probably got more than I ever did for any Christmas ever, Like, I try to bless my family, but sometimes I feel like I'm buying them too much stuff. I love them though, If I'm gonna make good money, I might as well buy them nice things. But sometimes I feel kind of bad about it. Yeah, so my son got. I got both kids laptops, and I figure like if they're gonna stay, like again, I talked about it before. One thing that helped me is I had my own computer at home in my room, and I could create websites. I remember I would create websites for The Legend of Zelda. I would download Pokemon emulators and ROMs and like learn how to like maneuver around the internet. And I think that's a good thing. Honestly, it teaches kids technology, and it taught me technology from a very early age. And so that's the logic. We got both kids a laptop. We got my son. My son got like a Ryzen 9 core like a Ryzen 9 processor, 32 gigs, small laptop, and his is a little bit smaller, but it's not small. It's like a 14-inch. And then my daughter got a 15-inch Alienware i7, so 7-core processor. So I told him, I was like, my daughter's eyes are a little bit worse, and so I told her, hey, your computer's a little bit worse, but your screen is bigger. They're both about the same price. And then my son, I said, yours is a better computer, but the screen's smaller. But both of these computers are certainly like any game you want to play on the market right now, you could play on these computers. They're both gaming laptops. And so they all sat up and stayed up late playing Roblox with their friends. I also got them some gaming mics. Some like gaming headsets, like Turtle Beach type gaming headsets. So yeah, and again, like it's a weird stage now because like when I was little, we had computers, and that was basically it, right? Like you use a computer. Now we got like iPads and phones and like all this other technology that's called mobile technology, where the stack of technology is a little bit different now versus 20, 15 years ago. And so I still think it's important that they learn how to use computers though. Yeah, Powell did scare the market a little bit. I'm wondering when's the next rate decision? It's got to be at the end of January, I'm guessing. Bro, altcoins going down more and more. I don't know. I'm not sure, brother. I don't know. I don't know what, Altcoins are cryptos. For everybody at home other than Bitcoin, Like some of my favorite altcoins are like Solana. There's a couple of them that I think are super interesting, but yeah, I don't know the future. Hey guys, we got exactly an hour until jobless claims unemployment filings. Honestly, the volatility is not a shock. It's pretty freaking low. Tesla, honestly, going crazy this morning. Look at Tesla. There's got to be some type of news catalyst for Tesla today based off of how crazy this thing's moving here. Let me see if we can find anything. I don't see anything, bro. Am I streaming too early for the day after Christmas? I'm just glad we got some economic data to cover here, to be honest. Isn't the bald eagle already the national bird? Isn't the bald eagle already? I mean, yeah, here's Uber. Uber, I like it, but there's risks too, right? It's not like there's just no risks with Uber. Uber, the problem is like if EVs take off, nobody's going to need Ubers anymore, you know? And so that's the only problem I have with like investing long term in Uber. But I think that's long term. The risks are long term, right? I think there's time to still watch it grow, you know. But I might be wrong. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Remember, guys, I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. You always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly here, guys. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Do not copy me. If you copy me, you might lose. I'm not an investment professional. All right, there we go. What's the expected number of jobless claims? So jobless claims numbers are expected to show up today at 225,000. I'll put this up on screen, actually. I should probably put it up on screen. Jobless claims expected at 225K. All right, so we'll put this up so everybody can kind of see it. 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. We can also put this down a little bit. I think it's probably going to be better to like pull this down a little bit. There we go. That way so people can actually see what symbols we got up. Yeah, we don't really have nothing else coming out today. We got the trades balance data tomorrow, retail inventories tomorrow. Next week's kind of boring. We got New Year's, we got ISM data, but like this week and next week are boring. The economic data is just light. Just not much going on. The week starts to heat up. Like January's busy, like for sure, right? Like January's busy. So like the week of the 6th is busier for sure. We got like the week of the 6th, we got service orders, ISM services, manufacturing data, services PMI. We've got the JOLTS report. Wait. Okay, this thing is kind of... Yeah, we got the JOLTS report, ISM services, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, we got non-farm employment change data. Thursday, we got jobless claims. Friday, we got non-farm payrolls and unemployment. And then we're also heading into earnings season, right? So it's been a little slow. Earnings haven't really been popping off. But next week, next week we got some earnings. Looking into it. Or I'm sorry, not next week. The week after next. We might have some earnings. I'm looking it up. I don't think we have any either. So yeah, we got like Thursday of the week after, we got like Walgreens, Tilray. The way you could always see when earnings are about to start is look at JP Morgan. Like typically there's a big bank earnings leading into earnings season, right? And so this earnings season coming up is going to be in January. It kind of sparks off on January 15th. Because on January 15th, we got JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and Bank of New York earnings in the morning on Wednesday, January 15th. Following that, Thursday, we got Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, U.S. Bank, and more. And then I'm guessing the next week we will have like Tesla, Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is going to be January 21st. We got a bunch of other ones. So yeah, the earnings are gonna start. I don't think Tesla has confirmed their earnings date yet. Not that I see anywhere, at least. Yeah, I don't see anywhere Tesla. So I'm showing January 22nd for Tesla earnings, but they're not confirmed yet. So, all right. Okay, appreciate it, Paul, and thank you, sir. Let me pull up Discord here. I haven't even pulled it up yet. I should. All right, so Eve Energy is reportedly becoming Tesla's sixth battery provider and supplier. Eve Energy's Malaysian factory is expected to start supplying energy storage batteries to Tesla US in 2026, according to a local report. They've reached a supply agreement with Tesla for energy storage batteries. All right, so the S&P 500 hits 57 all-time highs at record-breaking 2024. Magnificent Seven drive 30% of the NASDAQ surge. So yeah, honestly, this year has been absolutely crazy. One of the craziest years in market history, to be honest. It's the year of milestones, they call it. It's seen an unperturbed rise in the current bull market, nearly 26 months old. It is higher by more than 70% from mid-2022. As we wrap up the year with the possibility of a Santa rally, let's look at the major benchmarks. This is an article by Benzinga. This is what we're looking at, just to give the source up. So the S&P 500 has made 57 new all-time highs this year. The last all-time high break was on December 6th. They're also saying this goes down as like the biggest reaction to the election ever. The best, election reaction in stocks and finance. So yeah, interesting here. What a crazy year, honestly. Let's see if AI can contribute to this report, right? Let's see if AI can help. All right, so let's have AI break this down here, chat. All right, so in 2024, finance experienced several record-breaking and notable milestones. Thank you, AI. Here are some of the most significant. Again, the S&P 500 reaches new highs. It closed at a record 6,047. ETF market growth, so exchange-traded funds saw unprecedented inflows with 1.6 trillion added in 2024, bringing global assets under management to 15.1 trillion. Additionally, almost 1,500 new ETFs were launched, which was a record for both active and U.S.-listed funds. Bitcoin ETFs hit milestones. The introduction of Bitcoin ETFs in January 2024 led to rapid capital accumulation. Notably, BlackRock's IBIT ETF amassed $20 billion in assets under management within only 137 days, setting a new speed record for ETF growth. So we also had private equity dividend recapitalization. Belron's 6.25 billion debt raise to fund a 4.3 billion euro special dividend became the largest dividend recapitalization on record, surpassing previous highs in the private equity sector. So we had U.S. equity outperformance. U.S. equities continued their dominance, delivering a 29% return compared to less than 9% for the non-U.S. stocks, further widening the performance gap that has been growing since 2000. The S&P notched 54 all-time high closing highs throughout the year, reflecting sustained investor confidence in market momentum. And NVIDIA's market capitalization surpassed $1 trillion, driven by advancements in AI and strong earnings. So a lot of records broken this year in 2024. We'll see if we contribute. I put this a little bit low. I'm trying to give it a good middle ground. We'll see if we continue into 2025. We got a little dip here in Tesla, chat. A little dip in Tesla. What's up, Sam? Where is Intel? Honestly, I haven't really looked at Intel lately. You know, but here's the thing. Like, their processors are still big. You know? Like, again, like, I bought 2 laptops for Christmas this year. One of them was a Ryzen 9-core processor, which was a better one. Like, just to put this into perspective, I'm not much of a hardware nerd, but I know a little bit. And the more cores, the better, right? And you've slowly seen the amount of cores per processor grow, you know, since the introduction of computers, right? Like, originally it was 1, and then it came into, you know, it slowly grew. I remember when, like, when i3 were, like, the big ones, you know, then i5s were big. You know, now we're at freaking 9-core processors. My son got a 9-core, an AMD Ryzen 9-core processor in his laptop, which is like the best computer I've ever bought. Even this new computer that I just bought, like my new desktop that I have here, is only a 7-core processor, right? It does everything I need. I can play as many games as I want on this thing. It's not going to cause any problems. At this point, 9 cores is a little overkill, but the more cores, the faster your computer is. And so, Intel, you know, when you hear it means Intel, right? So like an i7, you know, like my daughter got an i7 laptop, like a 7-core i7, which is an Intel processor, right? And so they're still pretty big as a company. They're still doing things. I know there's been some bear sentiment. It all kind of makes me want to buy the dip, but the last time I bought the dip on Intel, I got absolutely punished by buying it. You know, I think I kind of made it out okay. I ended up adding to it for a little bit, and then it bounced back to 25. I can't remember. But I'm certainly not happy about how that went, you know. Hey, what's up, Blaze? MV, Mama Pawn, Sam, Bobby, Yowzer, Bunny, Nibbles. Yeah. Oh, is there no music? Can y'all not hear music? Can y'all hear the music? I'm out here rocking out in my head. Can y'all not hear it? Oh. Oh, yeah, so sorry. A Ryzen 9 means it has 12 cores. An i7 processor has up to 8, right? So really, a Ryzen 9 has 12, and an i7 has 8. Whatever. Again, I'm not a hardware nerd. I don't really know these things, to be honest. No, so no music? Okay, here. Better? Let me know if this is too loud. Right, let me know if it's too loud. I've been out here rocking out in my head. Yeah. Well, they all have 32 gigs of RAM, and all of they're all new laptops, right? So like the graphics cards are gonna be fine on all of them, right? And if anything, you know, the new 4070s are a little bit glitchy right now. So 4060 Super Ti or whatever are better, I think. All right, cool. Green or red on the spy? All right, guys. Yeah, again, I'm not like a big computer nerd. I know both of them. Y'all want to see what jujitsu is doing to my fingers, bro? Like, look at my fingers, dude. Like, honestly, my wife tried to buy me a new ring for Christmas. But, like, let me get a better. My wife tried to buy me a new ring for Christmas because look at what jujitsu's doing to my fingers, bro. Like, look at that, dude. That ring is... That finger's in trouble. That ring is like choking out my finger. Look how small. Like I've got this ring on, right? But because of that, my wife tried to buy me a new ring. She said my current one doesn't fit. Jiu-Jitsu's made my fingers larger, like thicker. Like look at this. Let me see. Will it let me zoom in? Zoom in. Okay, are you really gonna make me do this over and over again? Oh wait, I can do Control plus. Alright. Look at my finger here. And so my wife tried to buy me a new ring, but it was too small. Top 3 largest fingers ever in the world right now is basically what I'm saying. Honestly, dude, I never knew it made my fingers bigger, but I guess that makes sense, you know. Like, I have large hands, you know, like, and so I should be on that power slap show, just whack, you know. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, listen, Intel down there, is it worth a buy right now? I don't know. I'm not telling you to buy it. Part of me is thinking about buying it. Where's AMD at? Speaking of AMD, let's take a look. AMD down to 126. This is AMD time to buy the dip, too. I'm in it right now. Should I add more to this? You know? Like, should I add more to this, guys? I don't know, man. I'm thinking about it. How do I change this? Okay, we got this here. Okay, yeah. All right. With that said, though, I spent so much money on Christmas this year. I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not happy about it, right? Like, I love my family and I love people like I care about, so I spent way too much money for Christmas this year. You know, but here's the thing, right? Like, I don't usually buy big things. I buy my kids big things, right? And my wife is pretty chill. Like, she's not expecting some huge gift every year for Christmas, like jewelry or like something super expensive. And she's really chill in that regard. She's not super sentimental, and for that, she's kind of sentimental, but not like, she's not materialistic. I've tried to buy her a new wedding ring for the last decade, and she basically just tells not to worry about it. She likes her current one, you know. So I got her something cool this year, but I think that was like overdue because she doesn't usually want big things, you know what I mean? So all right, guys. Ooh, we got 40 minutes left still. 40 minutes left. Yeah, I've been doing a lot more gi jiu-jitsu lately. market would interpret higher jobless claims as bullish? No, not necessarily. I mean, it depends on what. Okay, so higher jobless claims means more justification in rate cuts. And so at this point in time, if we look at the CME watch tool, at this point in time, if we look at the CME watch tool, we can see that the expectations here for a rate cut are pretty freaking low. So at this point in time, there's not a super high chance of another rate cut. So basically, overwhelmingly expected at another pause. So they're expecting a pause in rates. And the only way this is going to change, and we're going to see another rate cut next month, is if we get worse economic data, right? Like higher jobless claims as an example. We get higher jobless claims, you know, that's one thing. But if we get higher jobless claims, you know, low CPI data, low PCE data, weak payroll numbers, you know what I mean? Like anything that could show a weak economy might mean a higher probability on rates, right? Like a higher likelihood of rate cuts, you know what I mean? So that's what it is. So rate cuts are highly, like, most probable with weak economic data. So in that regard, there might be a little bit of nuance in terms of how we're going to get reactions from markets. Like, we don't know if the market wants another rate cut or not. I would assume it does, but I still think that bad economic data is bad, you know, and good economic data is good. I don't know if it's going to change the reactions to stuff like this, is what I'm saying. So who knows? How much are Birkin bags versus like Louis Vuitton, like LV bags? Let me type in Birkin purse and see what shows up. Oh, well, damn, dude. These are like a freaking... Dude, I would never buy this. And I spend tons of money on like dumb stuff, but like I would never buy this. Nah, dude. Alright, so Birkin bags are between $15,000 to $225,000 for a freaking purse, bro. I'm sorry, dude, but listen. What the heck was that noise? Did anybody hear? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but listen. I'm not hating on anybody that buys this stuff, alright? And this is coming from somebody who has spent a lot of money on watches, okay? The difference, though, is that I can buy a watch, wear it for freaking 5 years, and then sell it if I want to, and I'm probably gonna make money on that transaction. Like, I'm probably gonna sell it for more than I paid for it originally, right? So watches hold their value. If you keep them in good shape, they go up in value. Okay, purses do not, right? Like, these things are depreciating as soon as you walk them out the door, right? Where, like, I could buy a watch, resell it, get roughly the same for it. Like, if I buy a watch for $15K and then walk out the door and then walk into another shop and sell it, I could get, you know, 14 to 15K from it immediately back, right? Not the same with this. I buy a purse, I go to sell it, it's going to go for at least 30-40% less than what I paid for it. And so I just can't see any justification in buying a Birkin bag. Unless, like, the only way is if I make, like, if I made tens of millions of dollars, sure, right? And it's like a female, like, flex that they want. Like, I get it. But, you know, I can argue a watch. Watch is going to go up in value. You know, most. And let me clarify here. Specific Rolexes and Pateks and APs can go up in value. But in general, they will at least hold their value over a long period of time, right? Like they might go down in a couple years and back up in a couple years, but in general, they'll hold their value. These freaking purses, there's no justification for this. This is just throwing money down the toilet. I never knew Birkin bags were so expensive. Like honestly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm gonna ask my wife about this. Because like I thought LV was like the top. Like I thought LV was like, you know, up there, like the top, right? Because you go buy a purse from LV, you're gonna spend $4 to $6K on that purse, right? Which to me is like should be the top. But yeah, again, I'm a guy. Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. Are they really? Yeah, y'all educate me here. I could be wrong on this for sure. I could be wildly wrong. Birkins go up in value? Yeah, but a purse... Right, like, so... Okay. A purse is made out of leather, which is going to naturally wear over time. Okay, it's not the same thing as, like, a steel watch that, like, as long as you strategically wear it and keep it safe, it's not gonna wear like that, right? Unless you just are super clumsy with it, right? A bag is gonna wear if you wear it, right? And so that's the issue. That's the other big like issue I have is that it's gonna wear, right? It's leather, you know. It's different. It's not steel. It's leather, and leather's gonna wear out as long over time. That's just an inevitability here with it. So I don't know. I don't have a G-Wagon. Even Chanel is way above LV. I never knew that. Oh, interesting. I always thought it went like Louis Vuitton was like, you know. I'm not judging. Listen, I genuinely don't know about purses. And I understand, like, listen, from as a watch person, I love watches. I kind of look at purses kind of like as the female watch. Right, like they want to wear it, like it's kind of like a, you know, status thing. Like you can buy and resell them; they go up in value if you take care of them, I guess. So it's all good. Educate me if I'm wrong. I might be wildly wrong, because you know. You like buying Rolex but not bags? Yeah, I mean, I don't wear a bag, you know. But it's all good. Listen, I can admit it genuinely is something I just don't know. I just don't know. All right, guys. So all right, guys, so we still got 30 minutes left until jobless claims unemployment filings. 30 minutes left. Markets are doing things, you know, this morning they got some action here. They're at least moving a little bit. The SPY is pretty low liquidity though, but like everything else is kind of okay here. All right, guys. So yeah, so I've heard the phrase Birkin bag. I just never knew they were that much. All right, guys. Yeah, so we got 30 minutes left. The timer's pretty on point, pretty accurate here. Beginning of a new bear market. My mom sat with me watching your live and asking me if this is the guy. If this is the guy because of whom I lost so much money. I mean, tell him I'm the top 3 worst trader ever of all time ever in the world. And I tell people regularly, look, this is my disclaimer. Okay? It literally says, remember, I am terrible and have no idea what I'm talking about and may be wildly wrong about anything I say. It's entertainment only. I do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Sometimes I lose off stream. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Do not copy me. If you copy me, you'll probably lose. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Now, I'm not saying you deserve it, okay? All I'm saying is that's my disclaimer. And so if you still choose to like try to copy me in my trades and all that stuff, I mean, I'm not, you know, live your life, brother. Live your life. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think he's being critical. He said, I told her I will learn a lot from you. Yeah, I mean, listen. In the end, most day traders lose, right? It doesn't matter who you follow. It doesn't matter if you watch me or Bill Gates. You're still probably going to lose money day trading, right? Now, you can limit that risk with funded account programs like Topstep and stuff. And I think that's the best move, because it teaches you how to trade. You learn how to trade with less. And again, I'm not really trying to plug my affiliate now. I'll plug it a little bit later on the stream. But like, you can limit your risk, but most day traders lose, right? And that's something that you have to accept. You have to go into it with that understanding. And going into it with that understanding, you'll ultimately lose less. You'll trade smaller. You'll have more reasonable expectations, because again, some people get into this and, you know, they're looking to get rich, right? Like, that's genuinely their mindset. They're looking to get rich. And if you enter this game with that mindset, like, I got to get rich, right? It's one thing if you're like, hey, I got to get rich, but I got to put the work in and I got to do all the work, and the work's going to be extensive and it's going to take me a long time and I'm not going to rush into it. I'm going to do it the right way. That's fine. It's another thing to go in this and be like, I need to get rich quick. Like, a lot of people are just gamblers in nature. And so they're just kind of justifying their own gambling by getting into this and like taking crazy risks and then blaming whomever they can when they lose, right? Like, that's a different thing. Obviously, you don't want to be the last one. You want to be the first one, where you could try to get rich, but you got to understand reasonable expectations for everything here. And most day traders lose, you know. Yeah, no, all good, Ivan. I didn't think you were, brother. It sounded like you were just joking. And it's all good. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Eric? All right, guys. We got about 500 people here. We still got almost 30 minutes left until jobless claims come out. All right. Dude, my nose is so like stuffy. Like, I can't breathe out of my nose. Bro, like, I'm not judging people that have been married like 5 times. I'm really not, right? But you would think after like the 3rd time, people would just chill out and be like, hey, let's just take it slow and just wait. You know what I mean? Like Einstein's definition of insanity, continuously trying the same thing, expecting something different to happen. And I truly believe like some people just are not meant for that, you know. Some people just aren't meant for it. The Texas Booger Sugar. Yeah, bro, it's 7 in the morning, dude. Come on now. That doesn't sound like fun, Bobby. It really doesn't sound like fun, bro. Like, I don't envy the people that are partying nowadays. Like, I just don't envy that. Like, that seems to be stressful, right? Like, I'm a homebody, dude. Like, I go to bed early. I wake up early. I go to bed early. I work. I visit with my family, you know. Honestly, my daughter's getting old, right? My daughter is almost 16. And so she's only got a couple holidays left here at our house. And she'll probably live here longer. Because let's be real here. I lived with my parents after 18. You know, I don't know if the standard of like, hey, as soon as you turn 18, you got to move out of your house now. And, you know, I think that's kind of crazy. And I think that goes against history, right? I don't know who made that standard. Business was probably motivation for some of the people pushing that standard, kind of like diamonds and diamond rings. But historically, man, like people live with their parents as long as they need to. Sometimes they live with their parents their whole lives, and you know, new generations sprout up, and you know, you kind of pooled your money together and lived as a family. I don't know if that's healthy as a marriage, but anyways, point is, my daughter's almost an adult. You know, she's got 3 years left, and so I'm going to spend time with them and hang out with them. Anyways, AMD up there. I'm going to get ready to trade a little bit today, guys. It's a little early. We still got 20 minutes left. I'm out here rambling about nonsense today. Not nonsense, but, you know. Some of you guys probably don't want to hear it, and that's okay. We'll get some trades in here. Honestly, dude, I'm still kind of shocked that Birkin bags are freaking 30K, bro. Who knew, dude? Now I understand why you hear it in, like, rap songs, you know? I never knew, bro. I thought Birkin was, like, you know, 5. Anyways. All right, we got our funded account here. We're down on this one. Or we lost money on it Friday, or Tuesday. Let's pull this up. All right, guys, let's trade. It's very cultural. There's a finance guy, his family's from India, and it's completely normal. Yeah, dude, I mean, listen, I get it, bro. I'm not one that judges. I moved out at 16. Honestly, that's too young, man. I mean, listen, there's pros and cons, right? There's pros and cons. I guess the point, I don't think we should shame people for it. Right? Because, like, listen, I remember when I moved out of my dad's house, right? When I moved out of my dad's house, I was 18, right? Like, I moved out of my dad's house at 18, and I had a house because I was working and, like, I was paying for stuff. I moved out, I had my own house, right? Half the time, I still chose to go stay over at my parents' house, right? At my dad's house, even though I didn't have to. Even though I had my own house I could stay at, because it's just more comfortable, right? You got more amenities, like it's just more comfortable. And so I don't think we should judge. And I lived in my dad's house off and on until I was like 20, I think, you know? And so there's pros and cons, right? The pros are that it's going to be easier. The cons are that you're going to learn less how to live on your own. Anyways, market's kind of flat right now. I think a lot of people are still asleep. It's the day after the holiday. I think a lot of people are still sleeping. Here's the micro NASDAQ. I don't know what I want to do with this thing. Part of me wants to short it. It's right over the 200 exponential here. Many successful people were alone at a young age. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, look at Steve Jobs, man. One thing you will notice about people that are successful is that they got a chip on their shoulder. You know, Steve Jobs had a bone to pick because he was adopted, right? And the fact that his parents gave him up originally made him very resentful over time. He had a chip on his shoulder. He used that chip to say, you know what? I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to say I'm going to show them why they shouldn't have done that, you know? And he ended up building this massive empire in Apple. You know, a lot of successful people start off with a chip on their shoulder. It's why I always tell people, right? Like, you can go around harassing and, like, hating on different people. And, like, that's fine. Like, make your decisions. But, and at least some of them, they're going to say, you know what? Like, screw you. I'm going to prove you wrong. You know? And you're going to make your haters, or you're going to make people that you dislike successful by doing so. And so it's important to understand that. And that's true. Anyways. All right, so Tesla delivery numbers. When did they come out? Pawn. When do delivery numbers drop? Is it today? Y'all better not let me go into today not knowing that Tesla delivery numbers come out. When do they drop? Not you, Pawn, just anybody. Y'all better. Let me look this up. When do Tesla deliveries come out? Or did they already come out? Chat, y'all help me out with this. When do the next Tesla delivery numbers come out? Yeah, let me ask AI. When is the next release of Tesla delivery numbers? See how good AI is. After the end of each quarter, early January 2025 is when the numbers come out. Early January 2025. They haven't said. All right, so yeah, so Tesla announces quarterly deliveries next week. So we do have some stuff dropping next week here. All right, so we do have some stuff dropping next week. It's going to be, like, I think it's going to be Monday or Tuesday next week is usually when they drop. Appreciate it, Bobby, and whomever else. Anger is such a powerful tool to become successful, assuming you channel it properly. Yeah. I don't know if it's anger or if it's just... Maybe it's anger. I don't know. January 2nd. Yeah, usually they drop at what, like 9 a.m. for Tesla deliveries. I'm just glad. I'm okay with it. It'll give us something to do, right? All right, looking at our poll, 57%, 58% think higher, 43%, 42% think lower. There's zero chance the world can completely transition to EVs. It's just not feasible. Well, I mean, it's possible. It's not probable right now, right? Eventually, it's certainly possible. Now, the way they might transition is by using factories, and like they're still going to need gas, but maybe in different ways. And I think the future is kind of hybrids anyway, maybe. You never see a happy-go-lucky guy in movies just come up in the world in the movies, right? It's always those who are angry and then become successful. 100%. You got to have a chip on your shoulder. I had a chip on my shoulder. You know, people made fun of me, called me names. You know, I was like this really skinny kid growing up, and yeah, that's how it goes. Prince TJ here. Are you related to Lil TJ? You know? The 10-year in the Dixie is putting an insane pressure on the market. Where's the 10-year at TNX? Let's look at the 10-year yield. 10-year yield's currently at 4.5%. I mean, what pressure is it putting in here? So, like, let me put up two charts here. Here's 10-year yields on the right. All right, so 10-year yields currently at 4.5%, 4.6%. Yields are going up, which means that traders are hawkish, right? Like, okay, so interest rates and yields parallel each other. And so if interest rates go down, yields tend to go down with it. Bond prices go up. The underlying bond prices go up, because if yields go up, the bond prices go down, and vice versa, right? And so if yields are increasing, this means that traders are more hawkish. And that makes sense too, because if you look at the expectations next month for rate decisions, it's expected to pause. We're not expected to cut rates at all. So in that regard, traders are a little hawkish here, I think. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes. We got almost 700 viewers here. Let's see if no. Except bears, you guys lose. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, right? Like, some people are going to be good enough to top pick the market, right? Like, some people are going to be good enough to do this, but most people are not. And the longer you hold one of these positions, the less likely you are to make money, you know? So, like, the longer you sit in a short position of the market, the less likely you are to make money, right? And again, I think, with that said, though, if we do crash, which is eventually going to happen, maybe they could be right. The issue is that when you zoom way out, is what I meant to say. When you zoom way out, markets are going to go up. This is inevitability for the most part. It's not 100%, but it's pretty freaking close. And again, just to understand this, like, if the market doesn't go up long term, you got much bigger problems than anything else for the most part. That means there's big issues. And again, like, people get biased. They end up, like, people get biased politically, and so that bias makes them think that we're always gonna, the world's, that they think that the stock market is just gonna break and never come back, right? But this has been predicted, guys, for decades and decades and decades and decades. Like, people are predicting the same thing. The reason the market goes up, and again, I think it comes from a fundamental misunderstanding. Like, the reason stocks and finance go up is because inflation goes up, right? Like, prices are more expensive. So in turn, prices for all the products that companies sell go up, and over time that makes them earn more, and the stock price rises, right? And so as long as there's inflation, markets are going to go up over time, long term, right? Short term, anything can freaking happen. But just because they're going up doesn't necessarily mean it's pure strength. A lot of it's inflation, and the point I'm trying to make here is that the entire reason to invest is to combat that inflation, right? Like, one of the ways you hedge against that long-term inflation is by investing in stocks, and that's what a lot of people don't understand and get wrong, and so they end up thinking it's up purely on strength, and it's quote unquote manipulated and wrong, and then they just never end up investing. They end up losing massive amounts of money to inflation over time, unfortunately. Sorry, I had to hide myself from the video real quick. When we crash, a crash is inevitably gonna happen, but I've done this before. Though, guys. So let's say you call a crash here. Say this is like a weekly chart, like a long-term chart, right? Like, let's say let's say the market does like this over time, right? And let's say you call a crash here, right? And then the market does this and it crashes, right? And it pulls back to here. Are you right or wrong by calling a crash here? Well, you're wrong, because even when we did crash, we're still above where you called it. And so that's the issue here. Is like, yeah, if you keep throwing darts at a dartboard, eventually we're going to crash, right? Like, it's inevitable. It's good. Like, we're going to crash eventually. But does that mean you're right by calling a crash years ago? Probably not. Probably not. You know, and you can keep doubling down on it and saying, hey, we're going to crash. We're going to crash. And, you know, if you're right 1 out of 7 times, you're still wrong. All right, guys, jobless claims unemployment filings expected at 225 today, 225. What are your predictions for this at home, chat? What are your predictions for it at home? I haven't taken any trades. The market's kind of choppy and sideways. Not looking great, to be honest, for me here. Not really loving life with this price action today. We're going to have to wait for something better to show up. The SPY is very low liquidity. NVIDIA is right under 140s. Tesla, on the other hand, has been pushing up here, chat. Tesla almost to 470s. I think the big question is, when is Tesla going to top 500? It got up to 488 at its highs. Look at this chart, though. I do really like this chart on Tesla. I think Tesla looks one of the strong technical charts. But you never know, anything could happen. I'm going to short this if we get a pop up here. And we got 8 minutes to capitalize on it. 8 minutes. We'll see if we add to it, too. The range is pretty small. Oh, man, the range is tiny today, guys. No range. Wow, look at this range, dude. It's nothing. Maybe I'll add to it on the way up. Try to take a longer turn trade. I'm trying to get used to scaling up, even if I lose money leading into the... I'm trying to get used to scaling up. Wow, okay. All right, we took half off there. We'll go ahead and get out there. So we made a little bit. We'll short this again too. 2 contracts now. Short. I like the downwick pressure, and then we could add some to it at the top with the cushion now. All right, so we got 3. We'll keep it with just 3. The range is very small today, though. Like, even with 3 contracts, I'm just not really getting much here. Flat. We got 6 minutes here, chat. 6 minutes. Got about 850 people here watching. Appreciate it. Yeah, jobless claims. All right, we're gonna add 1 piece to this here. 4 contracts. There we go. Now we're green. Now we're red. We're slightly green on the day still, but there we go. That's what I want. What? It didn't fill me at all? All right, we'll take this. All right, we made it. We're up about 30, 40 bucks now, which is not bad for pre-market. I'll wait. You know, I want to get out as soon as I can because we got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. You know, and I talk about this strategy a lot, and if I can wait for it, it does pretty well. Where we're at the 200 exponential, we break down underneath it, but we put some isolated highs up here, and then we break down underneath it and rebound back. I usually short the little pop back up to test it after we break down underneath it and look for this type of thing here. Team seems to work well. I talked about it in the video I published not too long ago, and look at the downward pressure that we get from it here. So again, jobless claims expected at anywhere between 225 and 223,000 for initial claims. Continuing claims expected at about 1.9 thousand, 1.88 thousand is what I'm showing up here. Again, we asked people whether they expect higher or lower numbers here. 59% are expecting higher, 41% in votes are expecting lower here, chat. And yeah, we'll see if we get anything good. Yeah, I mean, stockopolypse. We literally don't tell anybody anything. We don't even claim to be a good trader, right? Like, look at our disclaimer, brother. Remember, I'm terrible and have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't sell a course, don't sell a service, don't even claim to be a good trader, bro. But you just seem upset, man, and it's okay, dude. Listen, I'll be here for you. Let it out, okay? Let it out, guy. It'll be all right, dude. You know? Listen, yelling at me ain't gonna make AMC go up. I'll tell you that right now, bro. The problem with AMC is that they told everybody that AMC was like GameStop, and it's not, right? AMC's got 500 million in the float. GameStop, when it had its parabolic squeeze, had 40. It literally has 10x the float that GameStop did, brother. And so we could put out a new conspiracy about AMC every day because people are trying to grow a following on social media, and then some people just eat that up and follow it, and they're like, oh, conspiracies, manipulation, AMC, and that's all good and fine, right? But, it's just not the same thing. Look at it. AMC literally barcodes here, and AMC's weakness has, doesn't have as much to do with like big hedgies or whatever y'all are blaming it on these days as GameStop did. GameStop was certainly sketchy, right? But AMC's not that. AMC's just weak because the global pandemic caused people to go to movie theaters less, and stream more movies at home. And so obviously a movie theater company is not going to be doing as well as it did prior to that change in the standard of movies, It's not really a shock, but it's okay. Hey, thank you, Investor Bill, my guy. Thank you so much. All right, Chad, here we go. We got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Right. Like, everything's a sequel. There's no new good movies, right? Like, literally everything's a sequel, bro. There's no creativity anymore, man. Honestly, movie theaters simply just don't take as much risk anymore. And that produces bad movies, right? Because, like, you got to think about it. Like, there's a reason, like, series now are taking years for new seasons to come out, right? And to be fair, the production quality has gone up. But it's also because they don't greenlight the next season. Typically what happens is once the one season is playing, they're already working on the next, right? Now that's not the standard. Now they wait and see all the way to the end of the season before they greenlight the next season, which causes this lag in between them. They're just unwilling to take as much risk as they used to, unfortunately. All right, guys, here we go. Jobless claims, unemployment filings. We got less than a minute left. They're expected anywhere between 223 and 225. We'll see if we get something here, chat. Be ready. It's time. It's time. Jobless claims, unemployment filings expected at 223 here, chat. 223. Here we go. 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream, chat. We appreciate it. All right, here we go. And right now is when they drop. Right now. Let's wait for it. Look at this dump here, guys. Wow. Look at this jump. Jobless claims came in lower than expected at 219 versus 223, showing less people filing for unemployment than expected. Less people, 219 versus 223. Chat, continuing claims showed up a little bit higher, but initial claims, which is the more important one, showed up, 5,000 less than expected here, better than expected. Less unemployment claims than expected here, guys. Jobless claims showed up at 219 versus 223 to 225 expected. Better than expected. 219 versus 223 to 225. We'll put this number up on screen. Better than expected report here, chat. Better than expected report. There's the numbers on screen right here, chat. There's the numbers. 219 versus 224, about 5,000 better than expected. A little bit higher continuing claims than expected. I'll put that up in chat. About 1.91 versus 1.88 expected, but still a little bit better. You know, market went down a lot. I'm not sure why it dropped so much and then completely retraced this number here. But interesting, guys. All right, chat, here we go. Yeah, did Bitcoin pop a little bit from this? Let's take a look. All right, we're at 95K, 95K. Gold doesn't like it. Yeah, I'm looking at gold. Gold's down to 2640s, even though it's pretty green on the day here. Oh my gosh, dude. Is it really? Hey, can you help me out with that right now? All right, guys. Economic data just dropped. We're watching the price action from this now. Hey, Carol. All right, guys. So jobless claims, unemployment filings. Carol is frustrating me here. Jobless claims, unemployment filings came out. All right. Carol should be here to manage things for a second here. Hold on.
Carol here. Sorry, y'all. Usually trash is on Wednesday, but since it was Christmas yesterday, they didn't come. So, John's getting the trash. Morning. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Good Christmas. My mic's super low. Can you hear me better now? Merry Christmas. Yeah, they didn't come yesterday. So I was laying in bed and I heard the truck coming down the street. I think we missed one of them. Can y'all hear me? I don't really know how to turn down the music.
Here. We missed it.
Which one?
Trash.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We were gone half the time anyway, so our trash was we should make sure we
Alright, y'all. John's back. Apparently we missed the trash. That's not.
Bro, they should have told me. Nobody told me, man.
We probably should have figured it out.
Yeah, we've been traveling, man, so we really don't have that much trash anyway. But man, dude, trash. Top 3 trash missers in the world right now. Alright, man. My fault. My fault. Yeah, I should have known. Yeah, I don't know who Hermes or Herms. I don't even know how to pronounce any of that stuff. Ask Carol. You should ask Carol while she's here. She knows. You aren't the only people missing trash today. Bro, how dare them just come here. Like, bro, they should at least come, like, late so we can have a little bit of a reminder, dude. You know? Alright, guys. Again, if you want to check out Topstep, I'll put the link up. I've been day trading on Topstep today. We got a little bit of a cushion right now, which is good. I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. A little bit of a cushion today. Anything is good. Look at this move over the 200 exponential here. So again, if you want to day trade in the futures market on Topstep, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. There's no PDT rule on futures. And honestly, it took me so long to transition to futures. I should have done it way before I did. I didn't realize you could day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, basically the SPY and Q price action, some currencies, more liquidity in futures usually. Most pro day traders trade futures, and on Topstep, they give you a demo and they test your skill with a demo first. If you can make 3K in profit on a 50K demo before you lose 2,000, so a 3-to-2 ratio, you got to make 3 before you lose 2. They fund you 50K with a 90% split. They paid out over 150 million in the last 4 years. They fund thousands of traders. They're the most legit one in the world. And most day traders lose. And so I think that's probably the same here. Most day traders are going to lose regardless of where you go. It's a lot cheaper to lose on Topstep usually than it is to fund 20-30 grand of your own account and lose a large portion of that most of the time. And it's just a great way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose. This is a great way, and if you're good enough to pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit. And so it's the best of both worlds. It's limited risk at $50 a month for the base one. If you pass it, you get a 90% split, which is similar to funding your own account. There's just a lot of benefits. And on Topstep X, if you sign up, you want to use Topstep X. This is the biggest edge in funding because there's 0 commissions on Topstep X. And so you can literally have 0 commissions on Topstep X. You can see some of my trades. I'm making $7 a trade, $4 a trade, still net profit on those trades too. Again, the biggest edge in funding right now, in my opinion, and just taking these challenges genuinely builds your skill, in my opinion. I'm going to short this again. We're going to take 3 contracts in here short. If you want to check out the link, there it is. All right, so we got 3 contracts. There we go. Take half off there, lock it in. Take another half off there. Look at that beautiful rejection at that 200 exponential here. Look at that. Just made another like $30 here. I'll take it. And again, if you want to check out Topstep, they are an affiliate of mine. They pay me money. I am biased because of it. Genuinely a great company. Teaches you how to trade. You know, honestly, really, really good for traders in that regard, in my opinion. Yeah, check it out. There's the link. Is the music too loud? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Here, let me. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize the music was so loud. Okay, the song is super loud on that one, I think. Yeah, I think that song's probably just a little loud. Why short? Well, it's a scalping strategy. We rejected the 200 exponential, and a lot of the time when we have these big wicks, we fill at least 50% of them. Not always, though. It's just a, you know, and so like we have these big down wicks. Usually we fill at least 50% of them, you know. Not always, though. Sometimes we just rip up. But when we're at the 200 exponential and we reject that, and then we have this big up wick rejection, and then we got the big long down wick, that's usually when I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to bet that we're going to continue the chop, which would be on the downside. Like, not continuing the chop would be a move up here, and then starting to do something like that, right? In that situation, I was just kind of like, hey, I'm going to bet that we're going to continue the chop down, and we did. Now we're starting to push up, but I'm already out. Yeah, it's only futures, and all right, guys. Yeah, so typically, so somebody's saying, What are they saying? Can you explain why bond prices are down but the S&P is up? Typically, bond prices and the S&P so I'm trying to think of this. So typically they're correlated because, like, okay, so if bond prices have higher yields, right? So like higher yields typically makes people gravitate towards bonds over stocks, right? Like if you can earn 5% in bonds, as an example, you might buy less of the S&P and choose more bonds in your portfolio because the yield's higher, right? And so yields and the S&P and the NASDAQ a lot of the time have inverse relationships, because when yields are high in bonds, less people are going to invest in the S&P and the NASDAQ. And so, yes, in that regard, and the other, just to add to this, the other correlation is that as if yields are up, bond prices are down because of it, right? And so that's where they're saying, hey, that's where the person in chat, Matthew, I think, said why bonds are down but the S&P 500 is up. Because typically, like, if bonds are down, yields are high, and that typically means the S&P 500 is going to drop. But the thing you got to understand is that it's never 100%, right? Like, these correlations are never all the time. There's always exceptions to it. One of the exceptions is economic growth. So if bond prices are down due to expectations or of strong economic growth, equities might go up alongside bonds, which is showing optimism about earnings or something like that. Inflation concerns. So if bond yields rise due to inflation fears, equities may fall. You know, it's not always a perfect correlation there. There's a lot of exceptions to that rule, and it's never something that you want to watch and expect it to react that way all the time. But in general, the way you have to understand it, again, is there's a few ways you can look at it. Yields and interest rates typically parallel each other. So if interest rates are expected to be higher, yields will rise with them. And so if you could look at a good example of this is like the Fed rate cuts that we've been doing. Or a good example of this is the next expectation for a rate decision is a pause, right? Like a more hawkish, higher interest rate scenario. And if you look at the 10-year, like the 10-year yields, that is, right? It's been pushing up. It's at 4.6, almost 5%. And now in general, the higher yields here would make stock prices fall because more people are transitioning from stocks to bonds because of the high yields and like the 10-year, right? But it's not always a perfect correlation, and we're in like what's called a Santa rally like market right now, where it's the holidays. Market typically pushes up a lot in lead up to the holidays, but it's never 100%, and it could always be different, right? We can look at probabilities, but it could always be different. You know, like the relationship between bonds and equities is dependent on economic conditions, Fed meetings, interest rates, inflation data, like whether we're growing in the economy or not. Yeah, bond prices move higher when people want yields, or bond yields move higher when people want bonds less. Right, for sure, 100%. They have to make them more attractive. I understand. Powell likes to do a hawkish rate cut, then a dovish pause. He gets off. Yeah, I'm not sure if you got it backwards, 77, but a rate cut is a dovish policy. A pause would be a hawkish policy. So, like you got to think like doves fly. And the economy this is the way I remember it, at least. Like doves fly in the economy. It means the economy might be expanding because of less restrictive policies, right? You got to think of a dove goes up, it flies, less restrictive, right? A hawk dives down, more restrictive, kind of tightening is what they also call like hawkish markets, tightening markets. No, we don't really have any other economic releases today. Nothing big. All right, so Bitcoin is dropping even though MicroStrategy is still planning to sell more shares. Where's MicroStrategy? I look at Tesla up there too, though. And again, the relationship between bond prices and stocks is very, like, it's never definitive, right? It could always move one way or the other, regardless of what you think might happen. Anyways, let me look at MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy at 350s. It's seen some weakness in the last couple, months, right? Yeah, so even though Bitcoin's been breaking lifetime highs, MicroStrategy's still struggling. I think there's a lot to talk about there. But Bitcoin went down even with crypto stock parlor MicroStrategy planning to issue more shares, a move that would allow it to buy even more tokens. Yeah. Right. One is, I mean, the easiest way to understand it is like when the Fed is hawkish, i.e., pushing for higher rates or restrictive, it means the Fed is trying to kind of like push the economy down a little bit. Why would they want to do that? Well, inflation problems, stuff like that can make them want to push the economy down a little bit. And that's what they're doing by raising interest rates. They're taking away like access to leverage for people and businesses and lenders, right? They're taking away access to money. And so when people have less cheap access to money, they tend to spend less. It pushes the economy down and combats inflation to a certain extent. As if they have more cheap access to money, i.e. lower interest rates, because when rates are lower, they got cheaper access to money. The rates are lower. It's better. More people want loans and more people get loans, and they tend to spend more if they can. If they have cheaper access to money, they spend more. It helps the economy expand. And so if the Fed really wants the economy to expand after like a really weak phase, that's what they do. Jobless is already out. It's in big yellow letters above the screen. I'm not sure about market replay. Yeah, happy holidays to my beginner trading family here. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. We still got some minutes left. And MicroStrategy issues more shares. All right, I will be right back, guys. I will be right back. I'm going to go grab something real quick. I'll be right back, chat. Yeah, you see, this is why I was betting on like choppy sideways neutral action, because look at the market, dude. It's just not doing much. It's not a shock that we're getting choppy sideways action today. We'll see if we could use that cushion to make some money, though. MicroStrategy dropped 4.8% following the announcement to issue more shares to finance additional Bitcoin acquisitions. Interesting. Gold breaking down a little bit too. The market's still very flat, very choppy, very sideways. You know, if we do this for too long, I do think that we're eventually going to do something. Like break out of this range. Last year, November, none. Yeah. Jobless claims data was better than expected, showed stronger economy than expected, less people filing for unemployment than expected is what happened. Yeah, so that's what happened. Less people filing for unemployment. Ooh. But yeah, the other good thing about buying my kids' laptops is that now when I go out of town, I can use the laptops, you know. So when we go out of town, I can actually like use them. You know. All right, so there's the market going up. I do think we're going to break out of this range eventually, so I'm a little bit more optimistic here. But I also understand, like, hey, let's try it. I don't want to get too deep trading. Actually, I'm going to wait. I'm already green. Let me see. Yeah, we're green a nice amount here. So we're green a nice amount of the day. We got a nice cushion to head into the opening bell. I do have to cut it. I got to cut my stream maybe 20 minutes after the opening. So we're going to get some heavy trading in 20 minutes after the open. All right, chat. Gold's still breaking down here. Do y'all think we break out of this range right here? I don't know yet. Yeah, so the safest place on a plane is in the back, I guess, right? Sorry, I'm watching this terrible video. There was a... I hate flying too, dude. I genuinely hate flying. I don't know why I'm out here watching these videos. Alright. Alright, so we didn't end up breaking over this range. We're still freaking flat, choppy. I was hoping we might. Yeah, my wife and I started Lost with the kids, but we only got 2 episodes in. We still got a ways to go. All right, so here's another test of that 200 exponential. Here's another 200 EMA test. Like, here's the thing, right? So here's the thing. And I say this every day, but I see so many people I grew up with, bro, running like sports pick services. And like, dude, like, you can tell they genuinely don't understand like how to really make money in that. Most people lose, right? But my issue with it is that you can tell they genuinely just don't understand, right? Like, they're looking at it as a money-making scheme. But again, the way you make money sports betting is like kind of playing it almost like stocks in a way, right? Like, you look at the arbitrage, you look at the spreads, like, you get the best odds for the best money. And sometimes that doesn't always mean betting on the favorite. It doesn't always mean it doesn't always mean you got like a better than 50% chance of winning. Sometimes you got a 50% chance of winning, but the reward that you get from the bet is so high that it's a plus EV long-term strategy, Yet these same people that are acting like they've got like, and again, it's kind of, I see it almost like a fake it till you make it scenario where they're acting like they've got these big groups of bettors that just know what they're doing and all this nonsense. And really, like, they just don't understand how to really make money. And they don't understand, like, the people who really truly make money get kicked off quick. And so it's not just one, dude. I see so many people that I knew growing up behaving this way. And I don't know if they just don't have much else going on. And so they're trying to act like they got something going on or what. But, it's kind of the same thing where you see these people that just have so many different businesses on their social media profiles, where they've got like all these different made up businesses, Hey, what's up, WW? Hey, thank you, brother. I saw a guy win a 14-leg parlay with $65. I mean, listen, if he did that, that's great, right? But you have to understand this. This is the way, like, parlays are kind of suckers bets anyway. I'm not trying to hate, right? I'm just being honest. Like, parlays, okay, so they've done odds, right? So say it goes like this, right? Let's say I'm just talking about MMA as an example, okay? Now, say I bet on one fight, and then I win, and then I take all the money that I made from that one fight, and then I put it on the next fight. That's going to equal the same thing as the parlays, right? The parlay is going to be the same thing, but playing it that way is noticeably less risk, right? Like, noticeably less risk, and you could walk away at any point in time. But it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's not less risk, I guess, because you're still going to have to bet on anything until you lose. I don't know, man. Parlays are kind of suckers bets, though, I think. I think most of it is, right? And I think the only people that get wrapped up, I think people love sports, and so they want to believe that you can earn a living from it. But the amount of people that do is like a tiny, tiny percentage of people. And I guess the reason I'm saying this is so that people don't get wrapped up in like buying sports picks from some guru online. You know what I mean? Like, that's the sleaziest of the sleazy. And y'all be careful, man. Yeah, Sam. Yeah, we just watched Pirates of the Caribbean. Parlay, It basically means you gotta bring me to your leader in Pirates. Yeah, I mean, there's so much variance with sports. Like, this is why I think it's ridiculous when you got these people that are acting like, I win, more than anybody else, bro. I'm winning, It's like, dude, there's so much variance in sports bets, bro. Like, even if, for people that understand it, it looks silly, right? It looks ridiculous. We're still choppy here, chat. We're still choppy. So I'm just kind of hanging out. Like, we're talking about random stuff because the market's freaking low liquid and choppy. I was hoping we would break out of this 200 exponential, but we're just not. Right. And the bookmakers here are freaking mathematical wizards, right? Like, you don't, like, if by saying, hey, I beat sports books, you're basically saying I know better math than these mathematical wizards out here. And like, that's not happening, right? Like, these guys are freaking like these guys that create the odds, they know what they're doing, right? Like, they know what they're doing. Like, these are freaking math wizards. You are not going to beat them. A large majority of people are not going to beat them, right? And so it's funny, you got these guys that can't even do freaking long division out here trying to act like they're beating these odds makers, and you know they're not. And they're selling picks on it. It's just kind of like, come on now. Right, exactly. You get throttled. They don't want your action. If you're actually a good sports bettor, they will kick you out in a second. You know, if they think that you have an edge, you're gonna get booted out of there, bro. You know. All right, guys, we're pushing up. Again, I tend to think we're gonna break out of the sideways range eventually. I think we've been too sideways for too long. But we're so choppy. I'm not really gonna bet money on it. I just don't trust it enough. And we're green on the day. We're just waiting for. We're waiting for something to open up. So we will see if we get any good action here. We're starting to push up to the top. Part of me wants to buy it just because I think, but I kind of wanted to buy this one too, and it just dumped down here. So I'm just gonna wait and sit on my profit so far. Right, exactly. Exactly, Goo. Right, like, you know, those odds makers, they know, man. They know. And a lot of them, they're going to use AI and algorithms now to build it, but they're going to add their own little touch to it too, which is going to make it even harder to win. It's just important for people to understand how it really goes, you know? Yeah, so Terry, I think you might be really delayed on the stream, brother. If you're still talking about movies, we talked about that like an hour ago, brother. So hit the live button next to the play button if you hear this. We don't really have anything at 10 today. Yeah, we don't have anything going on. We've got a 7-year note auction, which is even like for bond auctions, it's pretty small. Tomorrow we got good trades balance, Case-Shiller house price data. But again, this week and next week are pretty boring, man. You just don't have much going on anymore. All right, guys, so we pushed over the 200 exponential. We're now dipping down to it now. The downside seems almost too obvious, but look at this drop here. Part of me wants to buy this dip too, but I don't know, man. I think if this doesn't work, we're going to break down fast. Maybe I should have bought it. Yeah. All right, looking at our... let me end this poll. I realize I still got this poll going on. Yeah, happy holidays, happy new year to you all. Does the market rally into the new year? Yes or no? Does the market rally into the new year? Vote on the poll. Let me know how you feel. Gold's starting to push up a little bit now, too. Again, part of me wants to buy this dip. I'm liking it more and more the longer I see it. And looks like I was just wildly wrong here. Maybe not. We got this ascending trend line, though. So here's the thing that looks good about it. Look at this. That little trend line looks interesting. You know, you could also draw a top to it here and do something like this, right? I should have bought it. Look at that. We got the pop up. I should have bought the dip. It looked like it was going to do exactly this too. I'm waiting for the markets to make its decision. Yeah, it seems a little undecisive too, for sure. And again, guys, check out Topstep. No PDT rule in futures. You could day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold. You can see I use technical analysis very similar to like stock patterns and day trading. No PDT rule. I can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. You can day trade the S&P QQQ price action, the NASDAQ, the SPY price action, basically, the Dow, the Russell, you know. A great way to learn how to day trade because, again, you can either put thousands of dollars up trying to day trade yourself, you know, or you could try this, right? Topstep gives you a demo. The base one's a 50K demo. It costs $49 a month, $50 a month, basically. If you can make 3K on that without losing 2K, following their rules and conditions, and you want to confirm it all with them first, then they fund you 50K, 90% split. They've paid out over $150 million in the last 4 years. One of the most legit ones in the world, the most legit one in the world. They fund thousands of traders. And the way you have to think about this is that it's a cheaper way to learn how to day trade most of the time, right? Sometimes some people are going to lose more, but for most people, it's going to limit your risk, right? Instead of risking tens of thousands of dollars trying to day trade, you risk $49 a month. Not the end of the world if you lose it. You can always try it again. If you pass it, tons of rewards, 50K funded account, 90% split is similar to funding your own account. The risk is noticeably less, right? And it's the perfect middle ground for day traders to learn how to day trade. And I think most day traders lose, regardless of where they go, including here. It's a lot cheaper to lose here for most people, at least. But I'm biased. I get paid. And so, you know, of course I'm biased. Genuinely think it's good for traders, though. And I honestly wish I had something like this in the beginning. Also, guys, if you sign up, check out Topstep X because there's zero commissions. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Not an investment professional. I am biased, of course. But if you look at Topstep X here, zero commissions. So I can make $15, $12, $3, $7, still net profit because there's no commissions. And so again, if you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support your boy here on this channel. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. We got 20 minutes left here, chat. 20 minutes left. Yeah, I didn't even say a Santa rally. I just asked if the market rallies into the next year. But I will tell you this, 80% of the time we do have a Santa rally, right? It's not 100%, so there's always that 20%. But yeah, usually. All right, guys, we got a small green day. We did push over the 200 exponential. Remember, guys, I was thinking about buying this dip. I'm kind of mad about it, to be honest here. Hey, where's my epic pin thingy? Hold on, dude. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Did I exit out of it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Problem with this huge screen is that... Come on, bro. Why are you not working like this? Come on, epic pin. What about this thing? You gonna let me work with this? No? Okay, you're gonna get restarted on me. Okay, epic pin. You just don't feel like working now. Control, delete you quickly here. There it is. Yeah, so all the economic data is done for the day, basically. Yeah, all the big ones at least. But yeah, what I was trying to show you guys is like I wanted to buy the dip. I wanted to buy the dip right here, if you guys remember. And I should have. Because I thought, like, I don't think we're going to stay in the choppiness all day. And so I was thinking about buying it. I should have, man. Where's NVIDIA at right now? NVIDIA, I think the big level to watch is 140. It's basically at 139.30s. But 140 is right above us. We also have that previous closing price right above us here. So we got a little chance to do something. Yeah, I don't know. Free, I'm not going to really touch too much into that, brother. Are all the fund managers on leave this time of year? Oh, they might be. I don't know. Liquidity's definitely lower today. I'll tell you that. Yeah, y'all slap that like button, hit that subscribe button, chat, if you haven't already. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. We got 20 minutes left or so until the market opens. Chat, 20 minutes left. All right, so there's the push up. Again, I should have bought the dip. My intuition was correct. Another interesting one is Tesla. Watch to see if it can break like 500. I'm not saying it's going to do that today, but it could. I want to find a way to draw freehand on my toss charts. The only way I know how to do it is by getting this software. It's called Epic Pen Tiny, and so I can draw the pencil up and I can draw, I can draw my charts that way. But and I usually like this if I want to like say, hey, look, I wanted to buy the dip here. We ended up pushing up. But outside of that, I don't know if there's another way, to be honest. On toss, I don't know. You got a lot of stuff, but I don't think. I know you can like write texts. You can put trend lines, all kind of stuff, but I don't think there's a free drawing tool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but I just don't think there's a free drawing tool, unfortunately. Yeah, so the free one allows you to draw some stuff. New York Stock Exchange is closed. Is it really? Is the NYSE closed today? Huh, interesting. Well, futures are still open. Yeah, and again, I saw some people here talking about AMC and GameStop and like all this stuff. And again, I'm here to tell you guys, like, listen, I'm not against you. I'm not hating on AMC and GameStop. I'm not, right? But you shouldn't like to be manipulated, right? They talk about manipulation so much. Like, you shouldn't like to be manipulated, right? I don't like to be manipulated. And so, like, especially when it comes to AMC, like, you should be very, very careful about the conspiracy theories on AMC that you're buying into. I've noticed this trend where you got all these people trying to grow a following online. Like, they see people like me and all these other influencers talk about AMC GameStop years ago, and they want to be like us now. They watch the movie Dumb Money, and they want to be like streamers now, right? The problem is that they fabricate stories, they sensationalize things because they have a need to make things exciting and crazy to make people want to tune in, right? And so what ends up happening is they start to over predict craziness. They start to come up with all these wild conspiracy theories on why you need to watch their video, because their video is going to tell you the real conspiracy around whatever it is, right? And then they just end up like making stuff up. People end up buying into it, and you shouldn't like to be manipulated in that regard. Like, you got to be resilient to that. And again, I'm telling you, GameStop's got a better chance than AMC ever does, right? But for whatever reason, I still see people in here like trying to talk about AMC like AMC's some crazy squeeze play. Like, AMC's not just weak from movie theaters not playing as many movies. Like, the everything changed 3 years ago. People watch movies at home now. They stream movies at home. They still go to movie theaters. I still think there's going to be business there. But acting like AMC is some crazy manipulation play, the only time it's been manipulated is honestly from its own CEO and trying to, for lack of a better word, pander to the ape and AMC community. Now, GameStop's different. GameStop's still got a relatively low float, right? Let me see. What is GameStop float? GameStop's float is currently 400 million as well, right? So GameStop doesn't even really have the float to make a parabolic squeeze like it used to. And if you want to know why you haven't seen GameStop squeeze like it did in 2021, it's going up. But the float is 10 times more than it was back then, right? They've diluted it enough. And then to a certain extent, it's helped save GameStop. Like, you still see GameStop stores around. And if we didn't see any of this crazy pump up from GameStop, modern age, you might not see GameStop stores around. And again, I'm not against you, right? Like, people end up hearing this and they act like I'm just some huge hater. I'm not. Like, honestly, I took part in those movements. My channel grew from those movements. Like, I invested and made money and, lost some money, honestly, in AMC and GameStop. And I want them to go up. But I think crashes are over predicted. And in that regard, and in the same type of way, AMC GameStop conspiracies and manipulation is over predicted. right, and overcalled. And so just be smart. You shouldn't like to be manipulated by a bunch of people trying to grow a following online. Like, be smart about it. Soundhound. Does the fund have margin? Meaning you have infinite trades a day since the combine has. Yeah, I mean, Pop, I would confirm everything with them. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, there's no PDT rule. I mean, you can day trade. I mean, you have to close them by a specified time, and I would suggest, here, you can use my link if you want, but go to the facts page and look that up before you take trades. I can't confirm or guarantee anything. You always want to confirm everything with them, and there's the link. But yeah. What's in my cup and handle? Coffee. You know. Yeah, coffee. What's Sound doing? SOUN? I don't know if Sound is better. Soundhound had his day and then it kind of fell down a little bit, but man, this thing has been going crazy. I didn't realize Soundhound was up as much as it is. Wow, what a crazy run. Yeah, it's doing things for sure. And AI, I think, is the next thing. I hate seeing people like, yeah, like people want to grow a following online, and I get it. Like, honestly, I relate to the movie Dumb Money more than a large majority of people that watch it, right? Why? It's because I do exactly what that guy does, dude. I go around, I sit in my office, I talk to my online following about stocks and finance and trades. And so it's very nostalgic for me because I covered the markets in those periods of time. Like AMC GameStop is when, like, prior to that movement, I only got a few hundred people watching my live streams, right? After that movement, like the big streams, we were getting 3,000 people, which to me was a crazy amount, right? That's really what sparked the channel. And then modern day, my channel gets great numbers now. Like big economic events, FOMC meeting, we had 5,000 people here. You know, the last Jerome Powell speech that happened, we had like freaking 8,000 or 9,000 people watching concurrently. So channel's grown a lot since those days, but it's a fun movie to watch, right? It's a fun movie to watch because it's nostalgic. It reminds me of what I do here. But I also think it's kind of saturated at this point in time. All right, so again, we're still testing this level here. We got 10 minutes left. John, the market is open today? Yeah, I know. I wouldn't stream if it wasn't, brother. You know, we got 10 minutes left until the market's open. Wait, the stock market's open today, right? Let me see. Wait, London Stock Exchange is closed. I don't care about all. I want to see the U.S. stocks. Hey, baby.
Hey.
How you doing? All right, guys. Sorry. All right, so we are breaking down under this trend line here. Yeah, and this obviously looks weak, but who knows what we're gonna do here. We got 9 minutes until the opening bell now. All right, so I'm looking at markets January, December. Yeah, so it looks like today's a normal day that I'm seeing. I don't see any, like... Yeah, the market's open normal day today, right? Yeah. I know I'm muted. I was talking to my wife. Yeah. Yeah, I was just talking to my wife, guys. Y'all are mad I had to mute it for a second? Come on now, you'll be alright. What do you think we're doing? Telling super secrets about you guys? You know, come on. Maybe we are. Alright, chat. We got 7 minutes left. Yeah, market's open. Yeah. Hit the live button next to the play button, guys. I'm going to short this real quick. Bad fill. We'll add some. We'll take some size. All right, so we got 6 contracts here. 6 contracts. Ugh. Honestly, I'm getting kind of punished a little bit here into this. Thank you, baby. All right, now we're kind of flat on the day, unfortunately. I want to give it a second to reject that 200 exponential. You know what? I'm going to add some more to this. Kind of a risky play here. I just want to see it reject that 200 exponential, come back down. There we go. All right, we got out a piece of it here. There we go. Look at that. Whew. All right, we ended up making money here. I'm going to add a little bit more to this now, too. What a choppy day here. We're going to take a piece off of that, lock it in. Somehow we ended up making money on this trade. We kind of had to double our size, though. Now we got to cut it. All right. All right, look at NVIDIA start to head up, though, guys. NVIDIA's just under 140. Sorry, I got to kind of eat. I got to run somewhere. So, not right now. We're going to stream the open and trade, but still. All right, guys. So yeah, we're eating. I mean, it's. I get it. You're trying to be critical by being like, oh, you're just randomly shorting. Like, dude, I had a strategy behind it. I made money on it. We broke under this major trend line that we have here that we've been holding essentially for the last hour straight since jobless claims numbers came out, and then we bounced back to retest it. Most traders, that's a very well-known strategy. And we ended up rejecting down. We managed the trade enough to where we got out without losing. But yeah, we ended up moving back up, kind of going right back up against it. So I don't think attacking trend breakdowns is a bad strategy. I mean, we can act like it is, right? But again, generally the people who are the most critical in chat are usually like the newest rookie-ish traders. That or they're just the most unhappy traders, you know. So cheers to you guys. Yeah, SOUN is honestly ridiculous. I didn't even see the moves it's made since November, man. That thing's up a huge percentage. I didn't realize it was this high too. I haven't looked at it in a minute. Jobless claims are at the very top in the big bright yellow. They came in better than expected, lower than expected, showing more economic growth than expected. Less people filing for unemployment is what they showed up as. Yeah, today's a normal day in markets. It's not closed early or anything. It's just a normal day, right? I'm sorry, guys. I'm eating cereal. I'm eating my breakfast here. We got a minute and a half left. I'm not going to take any trades. It's too close to the open. Green at the open. We made some pretty good trades so far today. We are running. We are running at 73% accuracy. Or no. Yeah. 73% win percentage. 73.3% win percentage. Got a little bit better than a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio, average win to loss ratio, so that's good. Good accuracy, good win loss so far today. We'll see if we can continue that. We got less than a minute now. All right, here's the bell. Nvidia's pushing up. We're breaking over a pretty big level right at the opening bell. So look at Nvidia rip up. Nvidia's just under 140s. It's back up to basically 140 now. Look at Nvidia test it. Look at that big green candle here, guys. Wow, look at that move. Look at that candle, guys. Wow. Is it Santa Rally Day here? Is it Santa Rally Day? You know, bears get mad even the mention of Santa Rally. But look at that candle. Honestly, it retraced half of the candle already, though. I don't know if that's a good sign. Cereal. Yeah, we got the bear obituary here. Look at this. You know, we got the bear's obituary there. All right, are you buying this dip? I'm not touching this. Too big of a retracement already. I'm not touching it. There's no way I'm touching this. I would short this right here, to be honest, but I'm not telling you what to do. No idea. I might be wildly wrong. It's not far enough after the opening bell for me to want to mess with this right now. Yeah. Look at this move up. Wow. Very strong. Very strong. Hey. Yeah, we know there's no sound. It's because I'm talking to my wife here, guys. And so look, I just want you to understand, if you see me talking, it is not me talking to you. It is me talking to my wife. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to plan something out. I gotta go do something after this, so we're trying to plan it out now, so I don't have to end the stream too early. All right, look at that big turnaround here. Honestly, the market's so choppy and flat right now, though, dude. I'm not really trying to mess with this. Yeah. Yeah, and Angelique, why did you also say the New York Stock Exchange was closed today? You know. Because I'm pretty sure everything's open, right? It's all good. I mean, if it was an honest mistake, it's all good, but just curious. Look at Tesla fall down. Nvidia popping up, though, so I would say Nvidia has more weight on markets than Tesla, but Nvidia over 140s. We're getting some strength here. It looks strong, too. We got a little cushion into the opening bell, though. Nvidia still popping up to almost 141s. I think Tesla might turn around, too, eventually here. All right, we're going to buy 2 contracts here. There we go. Took half off. There we go. Took more off. All right, another little trade here. Yeah, not bad. I'm getting close to $100 in profit on the day. That's good. I don't really trust it that much, though. We're only 4 minutes into the open, too. Look at GameStop. GameStop's trying. I mean, listen, GameStop is more suited to a squeeze than AMC is, just based off of the structure of the company. And GameStop also has a larger following of interest. Roaring Kitty back in it. There's a lot of reasons. Movies made around GameStop. GameStop's going, though, guys. Look at it. It's at 34s right now. 34s. You know, I covered GameStop earnings, too. GameStop earnings much bigger than AMC's earnings. Much larger. Wait, I covered both of them, didn't I? One of them I know I had to end early because of the... No, maybe not. Oh, Kitty tweeted yesterday. I didn't even know. What did he say? Again, I'm past kind of following it mostly. Oh, he did a box. He did a Christmas present. You know, you got to respect Roaring Kitty a little bit because he's made tens of millions of dollars, yet he's still kind of pushing. So. Oh, no, all good, Angelique. Okay, that makes sense. You're overseas. Yeah, today is what's called Boxing Day. What is that? I don't know what that is. I saw it online. I'm not sure what it is, though. It was a wrapped present. Yeah. All right, markets are moving here. GameStop's up to 34s. GameStop might be starting to get halted soon, chat. The volatility is high on GameStop. It looks like it's going to get halted soon. Maybe not, though. Is Santa showing up today, chat? Boxing Day, yeah. Yeah, my daughter wanted to go shopping today. Originally, I was like, maybe, but then I realized it's freaking the day after Christmas. It's going to be chaotic today. This year, we actually went shopping Christmas Eve. Oh my gosh, dude. I never, ever, ever should have done that. Alright, I'm going to start to potentially short this here, to be honest. One contract, though. We're going to take it small. And if we start to rip up, we're fine, but... You know, it looks like Nvidia might start to correct some. Yeah. There we go. Just made another 15 bucks. I will take that. Or 12, $13. Yeah, we're up about 100 on the day now. What? Why did it only credit? Why did it only credit? Alright, so we ended up pushing up here. Nvidia's right at that previous closing price. So Nvidia's right at the previous close. We're up about 100 on the day. Well, swing trading, in my opinion, is... I'm a swing trader as well. I love swing trading. It's better. Oh, it's returns day. Hey, baby. Yeah, my dad got me this book. Here, let me see that. Yellow. My dad got me this book for Christmas. It's called How the World Ran Out of Everything. Peter Goodman, global economics correspondent inside the global supply chain. Yeah, looks interesting. He knows I'm into economics, so I'll have to read that. Look at this candle, guys. Terrible fill on the short side here. I'm gonna have to add to this and see if we can save our trade, but what a drop. Let's see if we get the pop. Yeah, get up there. I'm gonna take half off right now just to protect me if I'm wrong here. I'd rather buy this and then if we go up, add some to it versus hold through that move. What a candle here, though, man. All right, well, kind of flat on this trade so far. There we go. So we can hold up there. Not really. Struggling. Oh, now it's back up. There we go. Made another $16 here. So we actually ended up making money on the trade. Cool. Yeah, we're up about 100 bucks. I thought we might. That's a big red candle, so I thought we might rebound quickly here. Watch Nvidia though. Nvidia is under the previous closing price now. It's right at the volume weighted average price. If it doesn't hold, this might break on the downside, but if it holds, it might stay, of course. But I'm looking at Nvidia closely here. I'm also checking it out. Apple. Apple's up there too. It's at 260s. Is that lifetime highs? I think it is, right? Yeah, Apple breaking lifetime highs today is another cause for this bounce at the opening bell. Here's Apple. Apple at almost 260s, hit 260.10s this morning at the opening bell, which is lifetime highs for Apple. So Apple doing things this morning too. Hey, we're actually green on our portfolio today. Nice. All right. Alibaba treating us really nicely today. Cool. Yeah, we're actually green on our Baba position too. Nice. I think social shopping is the future. Live social shopping. And I think Alibaba might... I'm not usually a big believer in overseas stocks either, but I'm going to take a little risk in this one. Well, the trend line looks good. We see a similar trend line that we saw earlier here. Hey, look. But I don't know how much I trust it. And I gotta watch Nvidia here, see what happens with it, with Apple. I'm gonna unload a little bit of Baba here, just because I bought it and it's up big. Let's see what I'm gonna take. A little bit over 40 off at the top. All right, we just took, yeah. Locked it in, protect the trade after this big rip at the opening bell. Nice. Why is Apple popping? I don't know if there's always a reason. It's just up. It's the day after Christmas, maybe. Apple products. Again, I couldn't buy my kids an Apple computer, right? Like, they want a gaming computer. Apple's not the way to go. You're gonna pay out for Apple products for gaming. The only iMac is probably what you want, but if you want a game, get a PC or get a Windows operating system of some sort. I mean, you can't swing trade on Topstep. Topstep's again, I've been day trading on Topstep today mostly. Our accuracy is very good too. I might just kind of sit this one out now. I think I'm just going to bow out for the day, guys. I'm already up. We're running pretty nice accuracy today alone. We are running 75% accuracy today. You know, it's kind of weird how some people only show up when we lose, and then when we win, they're just kind of crickets, silence. But we're running, again, we went 15 out of 20 trades today. This is our win percentage today. We literally had 20 trades. We made money in 15 out of 20. 75% accuracy, easy percentage. And again, we're trading on Topstep. If you want to day trade with me, I'll put the link up. If you want to learn to day trade, or even if you don't have that much startup capital, Topstep's probably where you want to go, right? They give you a 50K demo for the base one. If you can make 3K without losing 2K in that 50K demo, they fund you 50K with a 90% split as long as you follow their rules and conditions. And you want to confirm all this with them first. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, currencies. Even Forex traders should be trading futures to a certain extent. You can't trade all the currency pairs, but you can trade some currencies like the euro and some other stuff. So if you want to check them out, great way to help support your boy here in this channel. No PDT in futures, and if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You're out $50 for the base one. If you pass it, 50K funding, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K in profit. It's similar to funding your own account in that regard, just noticeably less risk. Great way to learn how to day trade. Beautiful middle ground of pressure. You're risking something, just not the full extent of 20, 30 grand like you would if you wanted to day trade stocks. Still, remember though, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly here, guys. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. I am biased. I get paid for it, and so I'm biased, of course. As always, guys. Check out the link if you want to learn more. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Tomorrow, we have like the good trades balance, I think. And that's about it. So it's still kind of a slow time here. You know, we don't have tons of stuff going on in markets this week. It's kind of a slower time. But hey, we're green on the day. I'll take that. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good.